We're settled for the details, I believe. Now, former appointees of the John Mahama-led administration have been cautioned by the police CID over the charge of stealing. They are being investigated by the police following accusation that some earned double salaries while serving as MPs and ministers of state. They include former Lands and Natural Resources Minister Inusa Fuseni, former Minister of State Comfort Doyo Gansa, and former Bunohafo Regional Minister Eric Opoku.
It's never true and it can never be true.
What exactly happened?
What happens is whoever has been a minister before, you have something from executive to collect. And you have something as a member of parliament. If they tell you any minister have just a parliamentary salary, is a lie.
So you are saying that currently there are ministers who receive money both as MPs?
Who are getting money from the executives, because if you transfer it to parliament now, it doesn't mean it's not two salaries. It's money from executive, money from parliament.
But does that not amount to double salaries?
It's not double salary because...
What do you call it?
Because they give you money on account, waiting for the determination of your salary. At the end of your term, they calculate everything. Then they give you your balance. They don't give you something that will exceed your
on account. Does it come from both the executive and the legislature?
And as I'm speaking to you now, current ministers are getting it. What the difference now is, they don't take it direct from controller, but controller brings it to parliament. And all of them have gotten it before. Everybody who have been a minister before have benefited. Either they give it to you now, or at the end of your tenure, they calculate it in bulk and give it to you. So either you take it in pieces, you take it in bulk, you have received it.
So as far as you are concerned, that does not amount to double salary in your opinion?
Oh, because as an MP minister, your salary is higher than a member of parliament. And parliament can only pay you as a parliamentarian because they have not employed you as a minister.
So the top-up comes from the executive.
Employed you as a minister is the one who will give you the top-up. And you will never know your top-up till you complete your work as a minister, because salaries for ministers or MPs are determined at the end of your service. And our salary was determined in December 2016. So from 2013 to 2016, we were receiving money on accounts.
Is it possible that that top-up could exceed what should actually be the top-up?
At the end of the day, they put everything together, and as a good accountant general, what you do is furnish your people with information. What we gave you have exceeded what we have to get at the end of the day.
No such communication has come to you?
No such communication, but they give us our balance, which means we didn't exceed.
So if you had exceeded, they should have done the deduction?
I would have told you. Nobody has even told us we owe them. We don't owe anybody. And if today they will say it's wrong, that is wrong from 92.
You have been cautioned charged with stealing. When you went to the police, what was your response?
Nobody is a thief. Me, I'm not a thief. I work for the state, and the state gave me what I deserve. They have good accountants there. They have good people at the finance, and they have good auditors at the finance. If I owe the state, they will even write first to alert you that you owe the state. And if they have not done that, they can do that too on a quiet without our knowledge as a group. But they shouldn't target us because we are NDC. They shouldn't target us because whatever was given to me, President himself have benefited from him before.
But not all the NDC MPs who served as ministers are being investigated. So why do you interpret it directly as an attack?
Everybody got it. If they didn't serve anybody, because if you don't receive it pieces, they give it to you in bulk.
All right, so that's a story that would definitely not go away anytime soon. My colleague Joseph Akable was at the CID headquarters. He joins me now in the studio. We're going to find out from him, first of all, how long this engagement with the CID did last, and then we have some other questions. Joseph, you're welcome.
Thank you. It lasted for about an hour. They got in around 11:30. They finished the engagement about 30 minutes past 12. They then engaged us afterwards. They were accompanied by their lawyers. They had a former health minister, Alex Segbefia, who was acting as one of the lawyers for them. You also had Victor Kojoga Daudu also accompanying the 3 individuals together with Magnus Amwate, who's also an MP and also a lawyer for these individuals as well.
You've been speaking to the 2 former ministers. What did they tell you?
So like we heard one of them explain how the payments are made in terms of the top-up that comes when you serve in Parliament and you are appointed a minister. She said the difference, you get what you get from the legislature, and the difference comes from the executive. And she thinks it's still happening. But for the former Lands and Natural Resources Minister, Inusa Fuseni, he thinks it's simply an attempt by this government to witch hunt its political opponents to more or less silence them from raising the concerns that they keep on raising about the ills in this government.
Interesting. Well, let's hear from the former minister.
We just completed the processes. I have been interviewed and also asked to write a caution statement. What they are investigating me for is stealing, and obviously I have not stolen from anybody. Now, I have said, and I will say it again, what we appear to be going through is a calculated attempt to dampen our spirits and ensure that we fail to do our work as members of Parliament. That will be very remiss on our part if we let what is going affect us to the extent that we are unable to do our work. I wish to assure our constituents and the Ghanaian public that we will continue to hold government accountable no matter what the consequences will be. We appreciate that these are occupational hazards and we have to go through them. And so we will continue to make ourselves available to the police while performing our duties as members of Parliament until such a time that they dispose of the matter, either through their own actions or in court. So thank you so very much for your patience.
Just a quick one.
I'm being investigated for stealing. For stealing. I have not stolen from government, and I will not steal from government. The specific offense that they say they are investigating me for is stealing. If you steal with the use of force, you become a what? An armed robber. So I have not stolen, and I deny the charge with all the strength in me. I have not stolen anybody's property, not even government.
Yeah. So are you to report back?
Well, I'm to report back on the 14th of May at 9 o'clock, and I will ensure that I report back.
Were you presented any form of evidence?
There was no evidence whatsoever. There was nothing whatsoever presented to me to substantiate the charge of stealing.
So for now, you were just cautioned.
But you see how I'm distressed that calumny has taken a better hold of this country, and that we are prepared to go after political opponents with such abiding fury.
But one would say that is the police doing its work.
Well, who is the complainant in this matter?
It's still unknown. We've asked, we are not aware. Have you been told?
So that is your responsibility. Find out who the complainant is. I've not also been told. I found out they say they won't tell me. But it will be interesting to know who the complainant is.
So will it be interesting times ahead? Joseph is still here with me. Joseph, I've seen their lawyer, I suppose.
Yes, I mean,
what has he been telling you?
As far as he's concerned, if this matter indeed goes to court, that is if the state is minded to prosecute them, he thinks the charges will fall flat. They are ready to put up their defense.
Oh, let's hear from him as well.
This is one of the most ridiculous things, because if they say stealing, what have we stolen? And one of my clients said, I'm not a thief. I'm a member of Parliament. So that's for her, she's not a thief. And they haven't stolen anything. We will wait. We will not impede them. Let's do their investigation. We will not be told who is a complainant in the matter so that we can confront our accuser Now we are seeing novelty in criminal proceedings. We will wait. But I can assure everybody, with the strength in me and everything backed by the law, that this will not go anywhere. Legally, this will not fly. However, you see, it's about MPs, their salary. Article 71 is clear. Every MP and a minister who works does not take salary until the committee determines that salary. And we've had several committees predetermined. So every parliament that comes in section, the president has the duty to inaugurate a committee or a commission to determine the salary. I would be happy to know, as we speak now, those who are MPs and ministers within the NPP, how much is their salary? The president should tell us who has determined his salary. The Speaker of Parliament and the leadership should tell us what is the salary. They are being paid. Those who are still ministers are being paid by the controller. They are being paid by Parliament. Is it that when controller brings the money to Parliament and you are paid, is it double salary? What some people have been accused, is it still going on? I'll leave it with you, the journalists. Go and find out those who are ministers today and members of Parliament, whether they are being paid as working as an executive by the executive, and as MP parliamentarian, they are being paid for that. That is the job I'll leave with you.
Is that what happened in the past?
That has been the convention since 1993. Why is it that you are zeroing in from only 2013? Why is it that it's not from 2001, when people were foreign ministers, attorney generals, were they paid as executive, were they paid as parliamentarians? That is the duty for the media, so that you inform the public what has happened. And is it the same thing that had happened between 2013 till date?
Asking for there, but that is the lawyer for the former appointees of John Mahama who are being investigated, or well, they were cautioned today over the charge of stealing. Yeah. Whatever that means, we might have to, it seems we would need some legal breakdown of that. Being cautioned on the charge of stealing, does it amount to the charge of stealing itself?
It means they are still investigating, they are not ready to charge you with that, but in the event they decide to charge you, once they conclude the investigation, the charge will be of stealing.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. But when Mr. Dawudu was speaking, right behind him was Eric Opoku, former BA minister.
Yes, he's also being investigated on the same issue of receiving double salary as an MP, and also while serving as the Bonafo regional minister, for which reason he also saw at the CID headquarters. I see.
Before I let you go, Joseph, this morning you started your journey all the way at the Parliament House, and then you ended at the CID headquarters. Give us a bit of information on the dynamics. How did you end up at the CID headquarters?
So at Parliament House, it was a meeting between the minority leader and these three individuals together with the lawyers. They had a brief meeting before they headed to the CID headquarters. We are told that it was to first more or less strategize as to how they are going to engage the CID officials. Obviously, as a minority leader, he was also concerned. Himself is one of the individuals that is also being investigated.
Exactly.
On
and
this
he's
matter.
A lawyer as well.
Yes, and he tells us that, I mean, his first priority for now is the fact that he's concerned about his members because he's their leader. So he's first their leader before he has to be concerned about himself. So that is why he thought it appropriate to meet them and talk to them. So shortly after that meeting, it lasted about 45 minutes. Right after that meeting, we joined them, we followed them keenly from a Parliament House straight to the CID headquarters, where they had the engagement with the police officers. And we understand that the three individuals, they had to go back 14th May.
How come Mr. Haruna Idris himself was not there?
He has had his turn already, so this is the turn of these three individuals.
Very well. Joseph, thank you so much for that update. Joseph Akable, you want to find him, you always find him in the court, where he's been following the former ministers there and bringing us up to date on that, a very interesting matter.